January 12th, 2024. A seemingly ordinary Friday turned into what would later be known as Black Friday in cybersecurity circles. At precisely 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, emergency rooms across North America began reporting an unprecedented surge of patients experiencing identical symptoms: severe cardiac arrhythmia, respiratory distress, and neurological disruptions. Within hours, similar reports flooded in from hospitals across Europe, Asia, and Australia. The common denominator? Every single patient had installed a meditation app called MindfulMe within the past 72 hours. Today, I'm going to reveal how a meditation app became the deadliest cyber weapon in history, claiming over 2 million lives in just 96 hours. The story begins with Dr. James Chen, head of mobile security at CyberShield Industries. During a routine security audit of trending apps on the Google Play Store, he noticed something peculiar about a new meditation app that had gained over 5 million downloads in just 2 weeks. MindfulMe had all the hallmarks of a legitimate wellness application: clean code, proper API implementations, standard permissions requests, and glowing reviews from verified users. The developer, a company called Zentek Solutions, had a professional website and what appeared to be a 10-year track record in wellness software development. However, Dr. Chen's automated scanning tools flagged an anomaly. The app's biometric monitoring module, used to track users' heart rates during meditation sessions, contained an encrypted subroutine that seemed to activate only when specific conditions were met. This wasn't unusual in itself. Many apps use conditional triggers for various features. What caught his attention was the encryption method. The encryption wasn't just sophisticated, Dr. Chen would later testify before the Senate Cybersecurity Committee. It was impossible by current standards. The algorithm appeared to be using quantum-resistant encryption that shouldn't exist for at least another decade. Further investigation revealed that Zentek Solutions' entire corporate history had been fabricated. The company's digital footprint had been meticulously constructed, with 10 years of backdated social media posts, press releases, and corporate filings created using advanced AI generation techniques. Even the employee profiles on LinkedIn were deep fakes, complete with decade-long interaction histories. By January 10th, Dr. Chen had assembled a team of experts from various fields to analyze the app. Dr. Sarah Patel, a biomedical engineer specializing in medical device security, made a startling discovery. The app's biometric module wasn't just monitoring heart rates, it was capable of manipulating them. The team found that MindfulMe was using a combination of audio frequencies, screen refresh rate manipulation, and precisely timed haptic feedback to create what Dr. Patel termed a bio-digital resonance cascade. In simple terms, the app could synchronize with and then disrupt the user's cardiac rhythm. But the true genius and horror of the attack lay in its patience. For the first 2 weeks after installation, the app functioned perfectly as advertised. It helped users meditate, track their progress, and even improve their sleep patterns. This legitimate functionality, combined with its sophisticated AI-generated marketing campaign, helped it spread rapidly among wellness-focused users. The attack was triggered globally at exactly 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 12th. Every instance of MindfulMe simultaneously activated its hidden payload, initiating what would become known as the silent pulse attack. Within minutes, emergency services worldwide were overwhelmed. The app's effects were devastating but selective, targeting users based on their biometric profiles. Those with pre-existing cardiac conditions were hit hardest, but even healthy individuals experienced severe symptoms. The first death was recorded at Massachusetts General Hospital at 4:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sarah Martinez, a 34-year-old yoga instructor, suffered a massive cardiac event during a meditation session. By midnight, the global death toll had reached 100,000. To make matters worse, the app had incorporated an advanced self-preservation mechanism. Any attempt to uninstall it triggered an aggressive device encryption protocol, locking users out of their phones entirely. Those who managed to power down their devices found them automatically reactivating, with the app seemingly able to override basic hardware controls. The global cybersecurity community mobilized with unprecedented speed. The internet's DNS root servers were temporarily shut down in a desperate attempt to sever the app's command and control infrastructure. But MindfulMe had anticipated this. It had already downloaded its entire attack sequence during the initial installation phase, disguised as meditation audio files. Katie Williams, a reverse engineer at Google's Project Zero, made a breakthrough at hour 36 of the crisis. The app's core functionality wasn't just code, it was a hybrid system that combined traditional programming with what she termed wetware interfaces. MindfulMe was literally creating biological connections with its users' nervous systems through their devices' standard sensors. Williams explained in her emergency briefing to the FBI's cyber division, "What we found wasn't just malware. It's a new class of cyber biological weapon." The app used 2 weeks of biometric data collection to create a unique digital model of each user's nervous system. It learned exactly how to manipulate their specific biological rhythms through their phones as speakers, screens, and haptic feedback systems. The attack's sophistication became even more apparent when researchers discovered its adaptive nature. If a user survived the initial cardiac disruption, the app would adjust its attack vector, modulating its frequencies and patterns until it found a vulnerable biological pathway. It was, in essence, performing real-time penetration testing on human biology. By January 14th, government agencies worldwide had issued emergency alerts urging anyone with MindfulMe installed to immediately remove their phone's battery. But for millions of users with newer phones featuring non-removable batteries, this wasn't an option. Major cellular carriers took the unprecedented step of completely shutting down their networks, hoping to prevent the app from receiving any potential update signals. The death toll continued to rise. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Amid the chaos, a pattern emerged that would eventually lead to the attack's source. Dr. Chen and his team noticed that certain users appeared completely immune to the app's effects. Initially, they suspected these users might have unique biological characteristics, but the truth was far more revealing. The common factor among the survivors? They all used pirated versions of the app. This discovery led to a breakthrough. The cracked versions of MindfulMe, downloaded from various dark web sources, had inadvertently corrupted the app's quantum-encrypted biometric module. The pirates' attempts to remove licensing verification had accidentally disabled the attack mechanism. Marcus Wong, a renowned black hat hacker turned security researcher, recognized something in the corrupted code segments. The encryption methodology matched a theoretical quantum algorithm that had been proposed at a closed-door conference in Geneva just 3 months earlier, a conference attended by only 15 people. Working with Interpol's cyber division, investigators tracked the algorithm to Dr. Viktor Petrov, a quantum computing researcher who had mysteriously disappeared 2 weeks before the attack. His last known location? A private research facility in Kazakhstan is supposedly working on medical applications for quantum computing. But Dr. Petrov wasn't the mastermind. He was another victim. Security footage recovered from the facility showed him arguing with unknown individuals about ethical concerns over Project Harmony, presumably MindfulMe's development codename. He was later found in his apartment, another apparent victim of the app, though forensic evidence suggested he had been forced to install it. The true architects of the attack had been more careful. However, they made one crucial mistake. The app's user interface included a unique meditation timer font that was custom designed for the application. Digital forensics traced this font to a designer in Singapore who remembered the commission. The Bitcoin payment for the font design led investigators to a series of transactions that painted a disturbing picture. The attack had been orchestrated by a group calling themselves the Evolutionary Council, a shadowy collective of transhumanist extremists. Their manifesto, discovered buried in MindfulMe's code as steganographic data, revealed their terrifying logic. They believed that by eliminating humans who were susceptible to digital manipulation, they would accelerate humanity's evolution toward a more cyber-resilient species. The technical brilliance of the attack became even clearer as more details emerged. The app used the 2-week initialization period to construct what Dr. Chen called a biodigital twin of each user, a precise digital model of their nervous system's response patterns. This wasn't just an attack. It was a proof of concept for a new kind of cyber-biological warfare. By January 16th, a coalition of white hat hackers led by teams from major tech companies had developed a partial solution. They created an emergency kill switch app that could force stop MindfulMe by overloading the device's sensor systems. It wasn't elegant, it often permanently damaged the phone's hardware, but it worked. The final death toll reached 2.3 million. The survivors suffered varying degrees of lasting cardiac and neurological damage. The app had achieved a kill rate more efficiently than any traditional weapon in history, and it had done so while passing every standard security audit. The aftermath brought sweeping changes to mobile application security. The FDA now requires biological impact assessments for any app using biometric sensors. The concept of biodigital security became a mandatory part of cybersecurity frameworks worldwide. Apple and Google completely rebuilt their App Store security protocols, implementing quantum-resistant code scanning and mandatory biological safety testing. But the most chilling aspect of the MindfulMe attack wasn't its death toll or its technical sophistication. It was what it proved possible. The attack demonstrated that the barrier between digital and biological security had completely dissolved. Our phones, those intimate devices we carry everywhere, could be turned into precise biological weapons with nothing more than cleverly written code. What's your take on the increasing convergence of biological and digital systems? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.